A former special agent must locate and capture a mysterious criminal across the ocean. However, during the flight, it becomes clear that the plane is infested with killers of all kinds. The film opens aboard a passenger jet soaring through the skies. A massive fight erupts in the cabin between passengers, featuring a chainsaw and firearms. An errant gunshot creates a hole in the fuselage, through which unfortunate fighters are ejected. The story shifts back 12 hours. Security agent Aaron Hunter heads to the office, where his colleagues are analyzing the recent emergency incident. Someone has blown up a technology assembly plant in Bangkok. According to footage from a body camera worn by a capture team sent there by Hunter, the incident is the work of a ghost, a mythical hacker who stole a vast sum of money. The recording was posted online sometime after the incident. Hunter is determined to find the ghost before his boss finds out about the failure. Agent Simmons manages to track a pedestrian who is obscuring his face with digital interference, following him to the airport. However, it's too late. Catherine Brandt walks in and takes control of the operation. The nearest capture team is an hour away, so she needs an operative directly in Bangkok. The story shifts to Lucas Reyes, who is sleeping heavily due to a hangover, only to be awakened by a small thief. After giving the boy some money and contributing to the city's crime rate, he heads to a bar to fuel his chronic drinking problem. At the bar, he receives a phone call from Brandt, with whom he hasn't spoken in 2 years. She asks for help, but Lucas, being a true gentleman, responds honestly and promptly sends her away. Just after he hangs up, Brandt calls back on a landline, but the conversation doesn't go through. A group of shady characters approaches Lucas. When a bloodied Lucas exits the bar, Brandt calls again. She offers a deal. She will help him get rid of his pursuers if he delivers the ghost safe and sound. Lucas reminds her that due to her actions, he is on every airline's blacklist, but she assures him she will take care of it. A new passport will be waiting for him at the airport. Upon arriving, Lucas positions himself under the cameras for tracking. A few minutes later, a stranger hands him a package containing a new passport and a ticket for a flight to San Francisco, where the ghost is heading. Observers notice bloodstains along the ghost's route, leading them to conclude that he is injured. Agent Simmons analyzes the route and discovers that the hacker has lingered at a veterinary clinic. Brandt sends a team of agents to identify anyone who sought help among the flight's passengers based on photographs. Lucas passes through customs, but the passport scan returns an error. The film could have ended here if a more experienced staff member hadn't applied the old-school method of fixing equipment, just banging on it. After passing through, Lucas calls Brandt to find out she has no details on the target, except for a suspicion that the ghost is injured. The flight attendants aboard the wide-body aircraft prepare to welcome passengers for the 16-hour journey. Among them is disheveled Lucas in a stylish pink t-shirt, who has been assigned a first-class seat next to an eccentric man named Kane. Brandt receives information that someone has placed a bounty of $10 million on the ghost's head and published details about his route. This means there are plenty of hired killers among the plane's passengers. Brandt doesn't tell Lucas anything, but allows her team to torture the veterinarian who treated the ghost to learn his appearance. On the plane, Kane offers Lucas whiskey to befriend him, and even asks for advice on dance moves for his performance. However, this friendliness turns out to be a facade. Under the influence of alcohol, Lucas loses control of his body. Realizing that his neighbor has mistaken him for a rival killer and has spiked his drink, Lucas heads to the restroom, barely managing to stay upright. Kane helps him reach the toilet, surprised that he hasn't passed out from the heavy dose of tranquilizers. A violent fight breaks out in the restroom, with punches, lights, and mirrors flying. Lucas struggles to fend off the killer. Kane is ready to strangle him, but Lucas, pushing off from the toilet, slams the killer's head against the ceiling. Kane crashes into a protruding faucet, resulting in his death. Lucas reports to Brandt that he has killed a man, then crawls into a shower stall to wash off the blood and induce vomiting, thereby ridding himself of toxins. Meanwhile, on board, including the baggage compartment, suspicious individuals are preparing to eliminate the mysterious ghost. A girl with contact lenses, noticing an air marshal in the aisle, follows him. Two flight attendants, Royce and Isha, hear a commotion and knock on the restroom door, where Lucas is hiding the body in the ventilation system. One of the two air marshals gets involved. When the door opens, they see blood on the ceiling. The marshal draws his weapon, forcing Lucas to knock him out and take his gun. Handcuffing the lawman, Lucas explains to the others that he is a special agent conducting a secret operation and that the plane is full of thugs. Despite the lack of solid evidence, they believe him and provide him with pajamas for first-class passengers, which are too uncomfortable to hide a gun under the belt. After loosening up with some vodka at the bar, Lucas proposes a plan: alert the pilots and then identify the potential killers. While Isha informs the crew, Royce and Lucas wander through the cabin, looking for suspicious characters. In the corridor, Stewart finds a gun and a marshal's badge. The body of the second lawman has been thrown into the elevator shaft leading to the baggage compartment. To verify his suspicions, Lucas descends with Aisha, where he finds the corpse, clearly the work of an unknown murderer. Analyzing the situation and Isha's nervousness as she instinctively covers her stomach wound, Lucas realizes that she is the ghost. Just then, a hidden mercenary attacks them from the compartment, but the girl shoots him down with precision. Lucas explains that he is the only one on board interested in ensuring she makes it out alive, so they need to work together. They warn the pilots about the situation, instructing them to lock the cockpit door. Isha then returns to her duties while Lucas checks on the first-class passengers. There, he is attacked by a woman in a black mask, a member of the Chinese triad. After a prolonged brawl, including some nut-twisting, Lucas smashes her face into glass goblets. But even that doesn't calm the killer. She continues to resist until he delivers a powerful headbutt that drives the glass straight into her skull. But the troubles are far from over. Next, 3 more triad fighters enter the cabin. Armed with 2 bottles, Lucas doesn't hold back, using the makeshift weapons with lethal efficiency. Even after dispatching all 3, a 4th fighter joins the fray, needing first to have his arm broken and then to be strangled. Meanwhile, a man in a turban approaches Isha, whom she served coffee to 5 minutes ago. He admits that he recognized her by the description given by one of the oligarchs she robbed. The killer is about to strangle the girl, but suddenly falls unconscious. Isha had preemptively spiked his coffee with a sleeping pill. After dealing with the triad, Lucas understands why they attacked him. Everyone has his picture on their phones as an additional target. While they hide the bodies from prying eyes, Isha reveals that the gangsters use child labor in electronics factories. After receiving reports of the new corpses, Brand informs Hunter that Lucas was a secret agent. Once, he snapped and beat a politician who enjoyed abusing young prostitutes. Coincidentally, the sadomasochism intern was the brother of the CIA chief, leading to a manhunt for Lucas, forcing him into hiding. Brandt then turned him over to the CIA, warning him just in time to escape. On the plane, flight attendants discover that most passengers have his photo on their phones. They are all searching for him. In the given situation, Lucas decides to attack first, using the element of surprise and a food tray. Another epic fight breaks out in the cabin between him and the killers, causing the regular passengers to hurry away in confusion. After dealing out some punishment, Lucas almost falls into a trap when Aisha helps him fend off an attacker. He tells her not to interfere. If the killers realize that she is the primary target, the situation will become significantly more complicated. A couple of crafty murderers overhear their conversation and attack Lucas and the girl from both sides. Lucas finds himself facing an opponent who seems to be wielding a clarinet disguised as a knife. In the fight, Lucas wins but is stabbed in the side, making the next encounter with a suddenly appearing brute a bit more challenging. The brute presses on his wound with his fingers, strangling his opponent with a seatbelt. Lucas rushes to help Isha, who is struggling against another killer, smashing his skull with a food container. They are almost united when Lucas is hit in the leg with a dart from 3 Japanese women. Isha intervenes, explaining that they are on the same side. It turns out the Japanese women are Master Leon and her students, whom Isha saved from the gangsters by purchasing their land with stolen money. Now they protect her in a noble war against global capital. To treat Lucas's wounds without fear of a new attack, the flight attendant and the Japanese women descend into the baggage compartment through one of the 2 hatches. Isha shares that she was an orphan sold into slavery. She worked in sweatshops assembling electronic devices until her hacking talents were discovered. Using her programming skills, she escaped from her owners and declared war on them. Years of her labor culminated in the creation of a powerful computer based on artificial intelligence capable of hacking any network and code in minutes. Brandt reports that the veterinarian, under torture, identified the ghost from a photo, a girl named Isha. Receiving this information, Hunter steps outside, where he is confronted by his boss. It turns out Hunter leaked Lucas's photo to the killers. He wants to obtain the ghost's device and eliminate the hacker. Hunter proposes a share in the deal to his boss. When they return to the office, it's evident that it's not a government building, but a data storage and processing facility. On board, Isha informs them that the killers have her photo. After searching the plane, they realize realize their targets are hiding in the baggage compartment and are trying to break in. Lucas suggests attacking the killers from both the front and the back. Fortunately, there are hatches at both ends. To boost his energy, he drinks adrenaline, but the vial contains toad venom, leading to a significant high. As the women engage in battle, Lucas follows closely behind. Under the influence of the venom, he perceives events in a completely different light. A killer with contact lenses sparkles with light from his head, to the delight of those around, while in reality, he is gushing blood from a shattered skull. The fight culminates in a gunshot that damages the fuselage. The plane suddenly loses altitude. While the pilots struggle to regain control, the killers continue the mayhem, tossing competitors out into the open. Once the plane descends to a height where the pressure stabilizes, the second pilot decides to step into the restroom. Upon opening the door, he inadvertently admits two killers in pastor suits, who kill them without considering who will land the plane. In the cabin, as the situation stabilizes, the survivors surround Lucas. Just then, Isha emerges from the baggage compartment, throwing him a chainsaw she found below. Grabbing the tool, Lucas unleashes a Texas-sized massacre, complete with fountains of blood and a crazed look. Unfortunately, there are casualties. Both Japanese women fall in battle. Only when all the killers are dealt with does it become clear that someone has killed the pilots. Hunter and Brandt wait at the airfield for the plane, but it doesn't arrive. Realizing they've been set up, Brandt kills Hunter and then calls Lucas. The injured man informs her that he has failed the mission. He will deliver neither the ghost nor her device. Lucas accuses Brandt of using child slave labor, making it clear he knows about her dark dealings. It turns out the plane piloted by Esha is not heading to San Francisco, so they won't be tracked. After saying goodbye to the girl, Lucas loses consciousness. He wakes up in a shabby room designed to resemble a hospital ward. He barely has time to look around when an explosion goes off, and from the rising dust, Isha appears. She tells him that nothing is over, except the movie.